Dorothy. Welcome to GN Inspire.
Hi, Gladys. Thank you so much for hosting me today in this program.
And you are going to take us all the way to Hungary today. You will be telling us about opportunities for students, for workers, professional, non-professional, and then also just your journey.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Gladys, for this opportunity. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dorothy Rop. I'm a student currently based in Hungary and studying and living here at the moment. I am a student leader as well, representing Kenyan Student Association here in Hungary. So why Hungary, first of all? You might be wondering why Hungary.
Yes.
Hungary offers affordable schools, world-class educations as a chance of students to come and study and have experiences here in Europe. Through the Stipendium, majorly we have a major scholarship program that helps more than 200 students every year. Actually, approximately 200 students every year to come to Hungary, whereby students apply from November. It's normally open from November to and closed normally on 15th of January. The scholarships open on 15th of November and closes on 15th of January. Where you can get these scholarships is you can just go to the internet, Google Stipendium Hungaricum. It will take you all the way through to the process of how to apply for the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship, which is the process is purely free for the Kenyan students. Actually, Kenyan students have the biggest opportunity to study in Hungary because normally other countries also participate in this same type of scholarship, but Kenyans have gotten the chance to get the higher piece of it because they take 200 students for the Kenyan students every year.
Wait, they take 200 Kenyan students?
Yes.
What? That is a huge number. And generally, what number globally are they looking for? International students normally are they looking for?
Normally, they look up to 2,000 to 2,500 students globally.
Wow.
Although there are a bit of some countries who doesn't qualify for the Stipendium Hungaricum, but very few of them. But majorly, Stipendium Hungaricum provides a scholarship for students all over the world.
Okay, great.
But Kenya takes it because they take a larger number of students coming from Kenya.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the website. I will put the link here.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the process. What encourages many students in Kenya is that the process is typically free. For Kenyan students, if you are applying for the scholarship, it is free. Unlike some other countries, if they give an opportunity for scholarship, you have to pay maybe a fee of 200 of 150 to 200 euros. Maybe if it is in USD, where you could get sometimes you get 150 to 250 USD for the application process. But Stipendium Hungaricum provides exclusively free for students who are applying for the scholarship. Free application.
Okay.
And in this scholarship also, I forgot to mention that you have to apply from your home country. In this case, we are Kenyans, so you have to apply from Kenya. Through the Ministry of Education, you submit all your papers through this Ministry of Education Kenya. They will check you through the process of nominations first, and then if you're nominated, then you can be called for an interview. So when they call you for an interview is when now they forward it to the Stipendium Hungaricum, where they will nominate the students who have been nominated back home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you have to the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, Dorothy, sorry to cut you. So I don't know, I might be wrong, but I had rumors sometimes back that there is corruption involved in the Ministry of Education process. Please demystify this. Tell us how is that?
I don't want to be so sure about this, but I don't want to say that this is true because some people have gone through the process. Ukisema tu ni Mungu tu. Ni Mungu aliwasimamia. So if God has stood for you, I think there's nobody else who can say no. If God has said this is your scholarship, then this is yours. Just submit your papers back to in the Ministry of Education, and then now you keep hope alive, you pray, and everything will be okay. If you are nominated, then just know that was God.
Okay. And is it Mimi? Is it physical? Is it physical application or online?
It is an online application. You submit to the Ministry of Education and also to the Tempus, which is the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship website. Also, you have to take your physical papers to the Ministry of Education back home.
Wow. Okay. That is interesting.
The office, I think, is located at the GPO. GPO at the Ministry of Education, I think 17th or 16th floor. I've forgotten about it, but it is just around there. They will always direct you to where you're supposed to take the papers.
Okay, yes, continue with the rest of the process. Tell us about what does it cover. Actually, now that you've mentioned that the application will start in November, can you tell us briefly about continue with the process? So you submit your things to the Ministry of Education, assuming you are shortlisted. What happens next? And then if you can also tell us about what the scholarship covers.
Okay, first of all, I will start with shortlisting. Once you are shortlisted, because the Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship website is open on 15th of November and closes on the 15th of January. After that, if you are shortlisted, they send you an email. They notify you that you've been shortlisted and you're supposed to go for interview.
Okay.
So then you have to prepare now for the next stage, where you have to sit for an exam or maybe for an interview, depending on the school that you have been nominated to go and the course that you are going to take. So you have to sit for an exam, entry exam. If you pass, then now you are nominated fully. The Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship is a fully funded scholarship covering your education or your tuition fees all through your study period. But it has limitations also for you to, they only cover up to the moment that you are supposed to finish your education. So you have to squeeze, you have to study very hard for you to finish in time, because if you don't finish in time, then they will scrap out your nomination and they give it to someone else. So you have to pay for the school fees for the rest of maybe if you have a semester or maybe 2 semesters that you have extended, then yes. But before they used to give at least one more semester. They cover only the tuition fees. But last year, beginning of this year, they scrapped out that part of whereby you have to extend. So you have to study very hard to finish within the stipulated time that you've been given by the Stipendium Hungaricum. Otherwise, you have to pay for your school fees from where they are finished with you. So it is a fully school fees. It covers all the school fees. It covers your living expenses, though a little bit of the lifestyle here in Hungary, especially in Budapest, is a bit higher. So it is not enough to cover everything that you've been given. It is not enough to cover for all your living expenses. So you have to struggle maybe a little bit harder to maybe live the life that you want, or maybe to be comfortable. And it is also not easy for the Kenyan students here in Hungary to maneuver through the job market also because of the language barriers. There are a lot of student opportunities, but ni kazi za mkono most of the time. You find out that kazi zenye zinapatikana mara mingi, you don't go to offices, you don't get professional jobs because of your language. You don't understand the language and the system. But student opportunities in the job market for the students is very high also, because the student provides cheap labor. As you're aware, in every other country, they provide cheap labor and easy to get. So we have agencies that employ students. You can go and register there and get a job opportunity for students there. Once you are here, you'll be guided by other students or maybe by the university coordinator, international student coordinator, to go through the processes of registering yourself, even in a student agency, so that if you want a job, they will call you for these small jobs, but you cannot get a professional job as a student here. It is very hard.
Okay, so what do people normally do typically? So you come, you study, and then you go back home, or what happens?
So you come here, you study. After your studies, they give you a job seeker permit, which goes for about 9 months. And for this job seeker permit, you have to get a job in your area of study. Before also, it used to be you have to get a job. For the last, from 1st of January 2020, we scrapped out that part, and they said that now you have, for you to stay in Hungary, you have to get a job in your area of study that is aligned to your area of study. If not, then you have to go back home.
Okay, wow. Before, I forgot to mention to ask on the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship, what are some of the things that make someone stand out? Are there things, I don't know, some scholarships they ask for extracurricular activities, etc. From your experience, what are some of the things that make students stand out?
Majorly, for a scholarship to be offered, you have to be standing out in something or one thing or another. If you're not standing out in the extracurricular activities, you're standing out in class. So Stipendium Hungaricum scholarship is majorly based in if someone who is bright in class, stand out in class. If you get a B+, a B-, from A to B-, you can get a scholarship in the Stipendium Hungaricum.
Okay, and Does it cover undergrad or is it for postgrad?
It has all of them. It has undergrad, it has postgrad, it has, to start with, it has bachelor's, it has master's, and also PhD. Whereby masters, they take large number of the master's students and also the PhD students. The bachelor students are not that much. If you are successful, then you're one lucky person. So they take a larger number of the master's students.
And I wanted to ask, because some scholarships, I know they have, I don't know, limited. You have to have worked in the industry for some time. Some say you have to be fresh from school. What is it? What about the stipendium? What do they say?
Yes, as any other scholarship states, for you to apply for a bachelor's degree, you have to be under the age of 25. Of course, you have to have stand out in class, also in high school, and you have graduated for the past 1 year from high school. You've like stayed home, or maybe you're currently studying in another university and applying for a transfer, or maybe you want to start afresh in a different course or in a different field.
And then for postgrad, for masters, does it matter if you, assuming I graduated and I've been working, I don't know, 5 years now in the industry? Yes. Do they care?
No, they don't care about that. If you are applying for masters and you've been in the job industry, no, there's no problem about that. If you're applying for your postgrad, the PhD, you also have to, they don't care about you working somewhere. You just have to meet the expectations of what they need.
Okay, perfect. If there is anything else, we can remind me and we can talk about it. For now, can we also talk about, Dorothy, can we talk about other work opportunities for professionals and non-professional jobs that are available in Hungary? What do you know about, like teachers, nurses, I don't know, home workers, etc.?
Professional jobs in Hungary, they are there. There is a teacher's work, but it doesn't pay that well in Hungary. Even the Hungarians themselves are complaining about the teaching jobs in Hungary. It is not paying so well. But rarely have I heard about international people coming to teach in Hungary. So it is very rare, unless for the for the PhD students, sometimes they get opportunities to teach in schools, English teaching schools as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for PhD students. Majorly, teaching opportunities majorly for PhD students are there a lot. For masters, I think I've not heard of it, but I've heard a lot of students who are PhD students working in a university teaching other courses also. So there are opportunities for the PhD students. There is also opportunities for other people, opportunities that I talked about, Yombo, kwenda kwa factory. It is not, but it is paying. It doesn't pay that well, but it is at least paying better than home, of course. You will get something at the end of the day that is better than what you would have gotten while you were back home. There are opportunities, job opportunities. They are not scarce here. They are a lot. They are a lot for the students. So you will not miss, as a student, you will not miss any job opportunity. As long as you are optimistic, you are focused, you can always get a job. Okay. For professionals who come directly from home to this Hungary, I have met a few professionals who works in international companies like UN, the WHC, is PMG, KPMG. So there's international companies that hire Kenyans directly from Kenya to Hungary. Also through agencies, some farm work jobs, driving jobs. I've heard of driving jobs. I've heard of farm jobs. I've heard of factory jobs. People are coming here from Kenya through agencies to come and work here at the factories, at the farms, drivers, truck drivers.
Mm-hmm. If someone is keen, do you know of, I don't know, contact number, sites that they can check more for these agents?
Yes. If someone is keen on this, I think I have at least one contact of an agency that have brought at least a number of Kenyans here who are working.
Okay.
So I met them through, like I mentioned before, being a student leader, you get so much exposures. So I met them through this leadership. They reached out to me because maybe some of them were in a problem, or maybe they wanted to fit in a community. So they reached out to us because Association of Kenyan Students in Hungary, which is a major group for Kenyan students here in Hungary, welcoming both students and other professionals. We're also alumni. We allow them to stay back in the group. So
yeah.
I know.
If they are cool with that, you can send me the number, and then I will put in the description box, and then whoever is interested can try and reach out. And like we say, obviously you also need to do your own due diligence, ask around to avoid scamming, because I know scamming is a big deal. People are like, someone will come and promise you a job and ask you to pay. Now that we've talked about opportunities in Hungary, there is a scammer who will now come and tell you, pay me this amount of money and I will connect you with a gig in Hungary. Actually, Dorothy, do you know, for this agent that will be sharing their contact, do you know if they require people to pay? Like, how does that work? How does it work with them? What is the procedure for working with them? Do you know?
For this specific agent, I happened to speak to, because some of the people who came here maybe had a few problems here and there, but he was able to fix it right in time before they were taken back home. So for this specific agent, as I have spoken to the few Kenyans who are working here who came here through the agency, they say that they mentioned that you pay a little commission to the agency, but you don't pay directly immediately. You pay when you get the opportunity, so that you are sure that you are going to get this. So this agency that this agent that I'm talking to you specifically, I've heard of him, and I've not heard of any cases that someone has been scammed coming to Hungary.
Okay, good. So we'll put their contact, but again, for anyone who is keen, please ask around, contact Dorothy, confirm that it's a legit thing before you send your money. Curious to know, just summarize for us. So we are now shifting gears and we are going into your story, and then we will start from your Hungarian experience. Tell us about your experiences so far. What is there racism in Hungary? How has it been so far? How long have you been there? Just give us a crash course of how it is like studying in Hungary so far, and then we will walk back to where you came from.
Okay. Life in Hungary is an interesting path of life.
Okay.
When we are back home, normally we say if you can survive in Nairobi, then I think you can survive anywhere else in Kenya. So as for me, survival life in Hungary is not an easy journey. It's not a walk in the park. You have to be very strong. A lot of people go into mental cases. We have had a few mental cases here because the life is not that easy here, especially when you're a student. When you're a student, you are required to meet the class expectations, the teachers' expectations, so that you can graduate right in time and don't lose your scholarship. And at the same time, the stipend that they provide you, maybe sometimes it's not enough to fix your daily activities, daily life. So you have to work extra. So you have to get a job and work extra so that you can meet your daily life expectations. So this is where the big issue comes in, because many students don't know how to balance between education. They don't know how to balance. They find it so difficult balancing between education and normal life experience. It's not a walk in the park. Studying in Hungary, you have to really be up and moving all the time, so that you can meet the expectations of the tempers, you can meet the expectations of your own expectations. And also about job opportunities in other cities in Hungary. If you're living like 2-3 hours away from the main city, which is Budapest, which is the capital city of Hungary, it is really difficult to get job opportunities outside because of the language barrier. And also, as you mentioned, a little bit of racism sometimes, but most of the people fail to mention it, but it is there. We've seen it is happening. So these things, they happen. But as sisi kama Wakenya tunaangalia, unajua kitu imekuleta, usoma, wewe fanya kinye kimekuleta, and then everything will be okay. Wachana hizo vitu zingine hazikuhusu. So that's what we normally say here. So wewe fanya kinye kimekuleta, as long as mtu hajakupiga, hajakuza, so just do what brought you here. So those cases are there, but especially why I'm saying about mental issues is because now balancing between life and education is very difficult, especially if you're living, you can imagine someone living like 4 hours away from the main city, and they normally come for shifts in the main city, so they have to travel every day like 8 hours on the road or 6 hours in the road, 3 hours coming, 3 hours going back. So mentioning someone, they provide like a 12-hour shift. It's always you can only take 12 hours or no shift. So for someone like that working, and you have to come to Budapest all the way from there's a city called Debrecen. I admire their strength. I admire their resilience, because those students, they really go through a lot, because they have to come. You have to wake up, assuming you have to get to work at 6 a.m. from 6 to 6 is when you close work. You work from 6 to 6. So you have to be at work at 6 a.m. So those students wake up at almost 2 a.m. in Debrecen. They have to go to the train station. They come to Budapest all the way. They go to work. They will close work at 6. So they come back. By the time they get to the city, it's an hour. So they take a train, the next train maybe from 7:20 or 7:27. You take another 3 hours to Debrecen. You are supposed to go cook. You're supposed to clean up. You're supposed to eat. You're supposed also to rest. And you're supposed to come back to the shift. Or maybe someone has class. Someone came for the night shift. They have class. They get into Debrecen at around 10 a.m. You have class at 11:30. So those are the kind of challenges that students face here in Hungary, because job opportunities can only, they are very scarce outside there in the other cities. But in the main city, which is the capital city of Hungary, Budapest, it is much easier for students to get jobs. So that is why students coming from other cities really suffer because of this. I'm glad that I got a school in Budapest, so I don't have to struggle that much, but I still feel it when students have to struggle that much and they have to balance school life and they have to balance also life, the normal life experience. It is really not easy for students here in Hungary. Yeah.
No, Dorothy, thank you for highlighting that, because I think we are all rosy on these internet streets. We are like, oh, come here, study, there is full scholarship, and we don't talk about this tiny other side that we need to warn students to be psychologically prepared, and also in case student is struggling, they should know that they are not the only ones, that people are trying to make it out here. So thank you for sharing about that. What do you do actually now that we are talking about your Hungarian experience? How has it been like? You mentioned you are a student leader. What do you do? How has it been like? Why are you keen about leadership?
Okay, what inspired me towards leadership? Normally, first of all, what I do, I'm a student leader. We have an association here connecting all Kenyan students here in Hungary, regardless of the university, regardless of the city. So it is called the Association of Kenyan Students in Hungary, AKESH. It is a registered association which was registered under our leadership early this year. So the Association of Kenyan Students in Hungary normally helps, first of all, we use it as an avenue to connect other Kenyans, to connect all Kenyans here in Hungary. So we normally organize for meetups, celebrations. We come and sit together, have a drink together, share opportunities, share tuongee Kiswahili kidogo, we chai kidogo. So yes. That is the thing that brought about the Association of Kenyan Students, the development of Association of Kenyan Students in Hungary. For the first students who came here early in 2016 are the people who created it. So it has gone through a huge and a difficult, tough journey whereby we are getting more students every year. So the association is growing bigger every day. So like for right now, we have around more than 700 students, members in the Association of Kenyan Students in Hungary. So it is a huge association if you are a leader, it is a huge responsibility under your back, for you to carry. So this association normally is to connect majorly all Kenyans in Hungary before, then students. It brings about opportunities for students, telling students how to maneuver before they come from Kenya. We normally allow them to join the group, talk to them first, and then so that we can be able to bring them up to what is happening. What do they expect when they come to Hungary? Are they expecting a Kenyan community here? Yes. If you want, you can join. It is typically optional for you to join, but it is always good to be in a community whenever you are in a foreign land. So it is just for communication, for networking purposes. We normally to network with the students. We also have another association for the alumni. It's called the Alumni of Hungary. So we have also another association for all Kenyans in Hungary. But majorly, Association of Kenyan Students in Hungary is the largest association that we have here due to the increasing number of students that are coming every year. The volume of students is always increasing as per year goes by. But for the working community, it is maybe most of the students when they finish after graduation, most of them opt to go back home or maybe to find opportunities in other countries, because if Hungary is kind of difficult to maneuver through after graduation, then they normally tell foreigners that you have to go back after graduation.
Yeah.
Ama unatafuta opportunity place ingine. So most people leave after graduation. So wenye tuko nao wengi that we have to deal with is the current students, because the volume is increasing year per year. So this is the work of this association majorly. I have also other leaders working. We are working closely together for the association who are not here today. Maybe next time we can organize maybe and meet all of them.
Yeah.
We do elections every year. So in a few weeks' time, we will be starting our elections. Maybe we will have our elections on the 1st of November of this year. So from then, maybe we can have new leadership for the association. But it helps students to maneuver and network from Kenya to Hungary. Opportunities in Kenya, we have people who are working in Kenya. There's a scholarship, not a scholarship, but there's a former student who developed a link in Kenya to link students, privately sponsored students from Kenya. If you want to travel, it is called EducationHungary. I'll send you the link after the conversation. It's called EducationHungary, and it is headed by one of our former students, who is one of our seniors, Stipendium Scholarship awardee here in Hungary.
Okay. No, wow. I am all about creating opportunities and highlighting opportunities, and that is what we do around here. It's good. No, I'm happy about the Akesh, because personally, when I was studying abroad, that community is important to just like connect with people who at least you speak your mother tongue, your country language, you connect about politics, and then you feel, especially during winter days. So I know I have some supporters here from I have my audience here at Inspire Nation here from other African countries. So do you know I know we've mostly talked about Kenyan students. Do you know anything about other African countries, mostly their communities and opportunities for them?
For every other African country here as maybe something like an association, just like we developed our own association, it connects them majorly with opportunities. We have West Africans also are part of the Stipendium Hungaricum. We have Ugandans, we have South Africans. Almost a lot of countries in Africa are participating in the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship. There are also some parts of scholarship. It's called FAO. FAO offers some limited scholarship though, but it is scholarship at the end of it all. So there are opportunities for other students in other countries of Africa. They come for scholarship. There are also opportunities to work here. For the Asians, they have more opportunities here compared to especially the first world countries. They have more opportunities here than the third world countries.
I think sadly it is what it is most of the time in most of these places here. And you've talked about Stipendium, you've talked about the FAO.
Yes, we also have Erasmus Mobility Project, which is an exchange program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other major opportunities?
I think those are the three major opportunities that we have. The Erasmus Stipendium is the largest, and then Erasmus, and then the FAO one. We didn't talk about internship and maybe a little bit of career growth after school, or maybe before graduation.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, about internship.
Yes.
Many universities in Hungary, they have career offices that connect students with companies such as Nokia, we have Bosch, we have another one called GE, and maybe other small companies that link students from the university. So looking for internships through your university or through LinkedIn and other job portals like Zintan, it will be a great help for students who are looking for internships. Internships often they lead to permanent roles. Sometimes if you're working, every other workplace normally is like that. If you're working well, if your job is pleasing enough, enticing enough, then you will be retained after your graduation. So especially in the area of information technology, studied that here in Europe, if you are an IT guru, then you will be able to get yourself a job very easily. If you're an engineer student, you can be able to get a job very easily. And also in the research fields, most students who are majorly based on the research field, like I mentioned before, for the PhD students, they have more opportunities. They can get a formal or job opportunities here. So in the research field, also they provide such kind of opportunities for students, internships, and maybe you can be retained after work. So networking is everything. So maybe if you're a student, or maybe you want to come and work in Hungary, you start building your networks and relationships very early with the people and the places you meet and the places you go to work. So networking is very important. And after your studies, Hungary also allows graduates to stay for 9 months. So you can use those 9 months to get a job opportunity that suits your career. If not, then you can also be able to find another place to go. Maybe you can apply to a neighboring country. I forgot to mention that if you have a Schengen visa, you can be able to travel to all the Schengen region countries here in Hungary, in Europe, without getting a visa. So you just book a ticket and go. So if you are clever enough, then if you're a student coming here and you're clever enough, you can be able to use that opportunity very well. Because if you can travel to another country and stay for like 3 months as you get a job, most of the countries normally recommend you to go back home. But if you're already in an opportunity, you have already gotten an opportunity, or maybe gotten yourself a school, you want to further your education in a different country that provides more better opportunities, it will be a pathway for you to start moving forward. So Hungary is, for me, I think it's a door for others. So if you are clever enough, you can use it as a door. You come, you study, and find other pathways using the Schengen visa. So Schengen has about 27 countries, so you can visit those countries without any visa.
Okay. Wow, thank you for sharing. These are the things we want to know. I don't think many people knew about this, so thank you for sharing. If you think of anything else, please bring it up.
All right.
But I'm curious to know, when you landed in Hungary, I'm curious to know if you had any culture shocks. Yes. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, in Hungary, in Europe, things are quite different as from Africa. First thing that really shocked me when I got here is about smoking. Okay. Smoking is a thing that it's really something normal here in Europe, especially to all the genders. You know, back in Kenya, mimi nimetoka Kenya, sijawahi ona hata mwanamke akivuta sigara. Then I come here, the first thing I get out on my dormitory in the morning, I'm looking down and I'm like, women are smoking? So before I got used to it, I was like, we smoke here, even small kids smoke here as young as 12 years. Smoking is like a daily thing in Hungary, and I think entirely in Europe. So that is one of the things that really shocked me. I'm not smoking. No, it really shocked me. Yeah. Someone goes to work, after every hour you have 5 minutes to go and smoke. Wow. Another thing is about the foods. The foods here is quite very different. As you know, just like the US, we have the 4 seasons here. It's quite cold here, and the kind of foods that we get here is majorly imported. So sitamu, it's not as good as what we would have gotten back home. It's not as fresh, it's not as organic as what we would have gotten back home. But they have good foods. They have good healthcare system. Their healthcare system is actually the best. Okay. Majorly huku, if you meet, kuna chakula yao, there's some kind of soup they make from beef, inaitwa goulash. It's their major food, their major type of soup here. It's called goulash. It's a starter pack, if I'm not wrong. So they have several types of foods that it really shocked me when I came here. Okay. Until by the time kujua kwamba we can do our small African foods here, but not that tasty as back home. But so since then, I've never even wanted to try this kind of foods because it really shocking me. You get unapata imepikwa pork, cabbage imechanganywa na supu ya imewekwa maziwa. Wow. So I'm trying to picture that. So did you guys, I think you Kenyans found a place to buy ugali flour? Yeah, we found a way of replacing something that we have used to replace ugali flour, although it is wheat. Okay. Ugali, we make ugali out of it. It's called buzadara in Hungary. I don't know in other countries, but I know they surely have it. I have seen it in Austria. But they have a different name. They speak German there, so they have a different name in Austria. But in Hungary, it's called buzadara. So when we noticed that this one can cook ugali, as a Kenyan, I think you are done. Once you have your buzadara and you go to supermarket and you buy some spinach or you get some spinach and beef, and you are done. Yeah. Wow. No, I think even me. I think when I went to the UK, I mean, UK food was. I could relate with most of the UK foods, but still, there was just a way, man. I arrived in the UK, the first 2 weeks, I was just feeling sick.
And then I cooked ugali and I was like, okay, I think I was just ugali sick. I'm fine. I was just eating and not feeling like I'm full, right? Like 2 weeks, I just feel like there is something missing in my system until I ate ugali and I was like, okay, I think it was ugali. Yeah, I do. Gosh. Interesting. Because of time, Dorothy, and I know I've kept you for long.
Yeah.
If you could just, if you think about anything else, Hungary, Kenyan African students in Hungary, bring it up. I want us to just summarize your academic journey, your career journey from Hungary. Where were you before Hungary? How did you even know about this Hungary scholarship thing?
Okay. First of all, I was back home in Kenya when I came to know about this Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship. I came to know it through online sources. I just came across it through the one of the online materials, and I opened it and I said, okay, if it is free, let me try. So that is where I started making the applications back in 2021, and back in 2022, and in 2023 I was able to come to Hungary for my bachelor's. I currently study in John Wesley College. It's based in Budapest in Hungary. Before, I had studied in a diploma back home in Kenya. I studied diploma in environmental management at the Institute of Research and Wildlife Institute back in Naivasha, in Naitwa Kenya Wildlife Service Training Institute, although the name has changed to Wildlife Research Institute at this moment. But by the time I was there, it was called Kenya Wildlife Service Training Institute. So I studied environmental management. I am a conserver. I treasure, I have passion in conservation at large. It's in my blood, so I don't think I am studying something that I don't like. I'm just in my right path. I also like politics, but not that much. But I treasure conservation. So I studied environmental management back in Kenya. I have a diploma. I'm now studying my bachelor's, and I'm looking forward to moving to the next level and also to the next level.
Yes. And so wow, interesting. So you went, for some reason I assumed you went to Hungary for your postgrad. So you actually went from undergrad. So you've been there for a while?
I've been here for 2 years now. I came in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are currently doing your bachelor's?
Yes, I'm doing my bachelor's at the moment.
I see. Wow, wonderful. My gosh. How many more years do you have?
I only have 1 more year to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the best with that. Are you planning to stay on for masters?
Yeah, if I get the opportunity to go for my masters, then it will be better. And also I'm looking for other opportunities outside, or maybe back home. We sometimes assume that back home we don't have opportunities, but truth be told, we have opportunities back home that we can go and settle back home and live good.
We do, especially in your area of conservation.
Mm-hmm.
There is I've been seeing a lot in Kenya, conservation going on, conservation discussions going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in my area, so if I get an opportunity, yes, but I am planning to focus in my studies. I'm planning to go to further my education, further and further.
No, that is good. All right. I don't know if when you reflect back, just because of time, we will pause here. I'm sure we might still call you back for more chats. But if you were to just give us, I don't know, talk to students in Kenya, wherever they are in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, 2 lessons you've learned so far in life and in education, in career, in your travelings.
So since I'm in Hungary, maybe I can just be able to say about Hungary in my career. Okay, just to tell other people, I talk to young people in all over the world. Maybe Hungary is not just a destination. Education is also not just a destination. It's a journey of growth. It's a journey of discovery. It requires a lot of transformation. So if you're a Kenyan student dreaming of studying abroad, remember the path is open for everyone. You can always join other diaspora members to join abroad. But remember never to lose focus. Focus is the only thing that keeps you abroad. If you lose focus like kidogo tu hivi, you can fall into depression easily, because you don't have your family, you're alone. Other people are privileged enough to meet their families abroad, but most of the people are a bigger percentage, of course, they go there alone. So if you are abroad, if you are aspiring to study abroad, make sure never to lose focus. Just keep your focus moving, and everything else will align itself. Remember where you come from, remember what brought you abroad, and always stay in a good lane with the authorities. You will never have any problems. So if you're aspiring to study abroad, it's time to think about it. It's time to familiarize with it and know that it's not a walk in the park. It is a journey that requires a lot of strength. It requires a lot of resilience for you to stay away from your family back home. So for us here in Hungary, at least we have a pathway for the students to come and start life. Hawafiki hapa wakiwa peke yao. We receive them from the airport. We take them to their specific school chapters. We call them chapters here because we have a lot of universities, and we also have chapter representatives, chapter leaders. So we connect them to the chapter representatives. So for Hungary, I can say we've made it easier, a little bit easier for students coming here because kidogo know where to go, you know how to maneuver, you know how to meet Kenyans. So I think other countries also have the same way of welcoming new people. So I urge everyone, if you are a young person there aspiring to study abroad, just keep your focus alive. Don't lose hope because you think that you are going to be lonely or maybe to meet people you know there, but it doesn't matter. Meeting people you don't know is even an opportunity to create more friends and create more connections in future. So take that opportunity, grasp it, and like never before, don't lose it and focus, go ahead. Ahead is the only way we can move. When you are going abroad, ahead is the only way you can move. You cannot afford to go back. It's very expensive. So just focus, and if to reach us, I will share with you our email. We provide mentorship programs for students. When we organize for mentorship programs, we organize for cultural events. We have networking sessions that connect Kenyan students across Hungarian universities. So the Kenyan embassy in Vienna also supports the students in Hungary in official matters together. So we form a network of assistance together with the embassy. We form a network of resilience, friendship, and also empowerment to the students. So sometimes we have mentorship programs and we invite the embassy. We have only one embassy in the Central Europe, which is based in Vienna, Austria. So it's in our neighboring country. So we have developed a good relationship with them, and they are working good for the people in Hungary, for the students majorly, and also for other people working in Hungary. So if you want to come to Hungary, just know that you're in a safe space. You can come and feel at home.
Excellent. Perfect. Yes, please. You will send me the email. I'll put it in the description box below. And anyone with any student who is currently preparing to come to Hungary, those who are in Hungary already, they can connect with you. Thank you so much, Dorothy. This session has been super helpful. And if we missed anything, I'll just ask whoever is following and want more information to reach out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dorothy, and goodbye.